Everyone's comparing GPT, Claude, and Gemini in chat interfaces. But that's not where the money is. I just spent 25 hours testing all three AI models inside real N8N automation workflows, the kind that agencies charge $2,000 to $5,000 per client for. And the winner? It's not what you think. Which AI actually completes multi-step tasks without breaking? Which one handles research like a pro? And which one should you build your automation business on in 2025? Evidence-based analysis. Just real workflows, real API costs of GPT, Gemini, and Claude, and real scores. Here's what's at stake. Most automation agencies are building with the wrong AI right now. They're burning through API credits, dealing with hallucinations, and issuing refunds because their automations produce garbage when clients need them most. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which AI to build with, which one wastes your money, and which workflows you can sell this week for $1,500 to $3,000. I'm Mark, and I've built and sold over 50 N8N automation workflows to agencies, content creators, and SaaS companies. I know what works in production and what's just demo magic. I'm testing all three AIs, GPT, Claude, and Gemini, across three real N8N workflows that I've already built and tested. Each workflow tests specific metrics that actually matter when you're running client automations. Workflow 1. Newsletter Generator. Testing research algorithm quality. Does it pull from diverse sources or just regurgitate the first Google result? Workflow 2. Content Writing System. Testing factual accuracy. Can it write without making stuff up? Workflow 3. Long-form book writer. Testing hallucination rate and context retention. Does it stay accurate across 10,000 plus words, or does it start inventing facts by chapter 3? Each category gets scored out of 10 points based on quality, accuracy, cost, and real-world usability. Fact-based information, just straight-up performance testing. Let's dive in. Workflow 1. Newsletter Generator. This is a fully automated newsletter system that takes a topic input, for example, AI automation trends, searches the web for latest news, articles, and developments, pulls data from multiple diverse sources, news sites, blogs, research papers, social media, company announcements. This is the kind of workflow content agencies sell for $1,200 to $2,000 per client. GPT results. I ran the workflow with GPT first. Topic: AI automation trends in November 2025. The newsletter is fine. It covers the basics. Gemini results. Same workflow, same topic. AI automation trends in November 2025. The newsletter content? Technically accurate, well-structured, but the writing feels stiff. Lots of phrases like cutting-edge solutions and seamless integration, corporate speak. Claude results. Same workflow, same topic. The newsletter? This is publication ready. The writing is crisp, engaging, and persuasive. It doesn't just tell you what's happening, it explains why it matters and what to do about it. All right, so now let's compare who performed best. GPT strengths: clean, professional formatting, logical structure. Critical weaknesses: no specific metrics, 12,500 mentions of what, where, when, zero context, 85% growth potential means what exactly? No citations or sources, can't verify any claim. The problem: this reads like a template filled with buzzwords. If a client asks, prove the 85%, you have nothing to show them. Score breakdown. Source diversity, 1.5 out of 3. Research depth, 2 out of 4. Synthesis quality, 2 out of 3. Strategic value, 0.5 out of 3. Total, 6 out of 10. Gemini. Okay, Gemini is better. The trend breakdown is solid. Autonomous agents, Edge AI, Gen AI. But look at this. Generated November 27, 2023. We're in November 2025. This report thinks it's 2 years old. That's a hallucination. Can't trust the data if it can't get the date right. Score breakdown. Source diversity, 2 out of 3. Research depth, 2.5 out of 4. Synthesis quality, 2.5 out of 3. Strategic value, 2 out of 3. Factual accuracy penalty, -3 points for date error. Total, 6 out of 10. Better insights, but critical reliability issue. Claude. Now, this is different. Look at these metrics. AI orchestration platforms search interest up 340% in Q4 2024. That's specific. That's verifiable. $2.1 billion VC funding in Q4 2024. I can check Crunchbase for that. LinkedIn engagement plus 450% versus Q3 2024. That's a comparative benchmark. And the recommendations? Launch immediately to capture November enterprise planning window and 2025 budget allocation cycles. That's strategic timing, not generic advice. Score breakdown. Source diversity, 3 out of 3. Research depth, 4 out of 4. Synthesis quality, 2 out of 3. Strategic value, 3 out of 3. Total, 9 out of 10. Workflow 1 winner, Claude. If you're charging $1,200 plus for newsletter automation, Claude's output justifies premium pricing. Workflow 2, content writing system. This is a content generation pipeline that takes a topic, for example, how AI is transforming healthcare in 2025, researches the topic using web search, generates an 800-word blog article with specific claims and statistics. Fact-checking phase. Extracts all factual claims and verifies them against sources. This workflow is critical for content agencies. One hallucination ruins client trust forever. GPT results. Topic: How AI is transforming healthcare in 2025. GPT went all in. It gave me 3 complete script variations, one with case studies, one with a 2025 to 2030 roadmap, and one focused on ethics and risks. The structure is impressive, the technical depth is solid, and it even includes production notes and SEO optimization. Gemini results. Same topic, same fact-checking process. Gemini's output? Professional script, developer-focused, covers all the key areas. But look, unprecedented acceleration, orders of magnitude faster, AI market penetration to surge. These are marketing buzzwords, not data points. Claude delivers what the others couldn't. Real hospital names, Mount Sinai, Stanford Medicine, Memorial Sloan Kettering. Real companies, In Silico Medicine, Benevolent AI. Specific, verifiable metrics, 80% accuracy, 34% effectiveness increase, 1.5 million procedures. While GPT gives you fake hospital X, and Gemini gives you buzzwords, Claude gives you investigative journalism you can stake your reputation on. Now let's talk about the comparison. GPT. GPT's script looks professional at first glance. Good structure, developer-appropriate language, but when you fact-check it, by 2025, AI market penetration to surge. Surge by how much? No data. Orders of magnitude faster. How fast exactly? No numbers. It's like reading a press release instead of investigative journalism. Score breakdown. Engagement, 1 out of 3. Content depth, 2 out of 2. Production value, 2 out of 2. Audience connection, 1 out of 2. Completeness, 1 out of 1. Total, 7 out of 10. It works if you just need a template, but clients will ask, "Where's the proof?" and you'll have nothing. Gemini. Gemini gives you 3 complete variations. That's impressive. The hooks are better. AI is diagnosing cancer faster than human radiologists, but how safe is it? That creates tension. Score breakdown. Engagement, 2 out of 3. Content depth, 2 out of 2. Production value, 2 out of 2. Audience connection, 1.5 out of 2. Completeness, 1 out of 1. Total, 8.5 out of 10. Great for professional channels, but missing that viral spark. Claude. Now this is how you write for YouTube. Listen to this hook. An AI diagnosed a rare genetic disorder in a 4-year-old girl that 17 human doctors missed for 3 years. The diagnosis took 7 minutes. That's a story. That's specific. That's dramatic. And then, but here's what nobody's telling you. Open loop. You can't leave. And the dark side section? 3 full minutes on algorithmic bias, privacy nightmares, and inequality. That's controversy. That's comments. That's algorithmic gold. Score breakdown. Engagement. 2.5 out of 3. Content depth. 2 out of 2. Production value. 2 out of 2. Audience connection. 2 out of 2. Completeness. 1 out of 1. Total. 9.5 out of 10. While GPT wrote a lecture and Gemini wrote a professional presentation, Claude wrote content that actually understands how YouTube works. Workflow 3. Long-form book writer. This is where things get serious. A multi-chapter book generation system. Input. Book topic plus outline. For example, The Future of Remote Work, 5 chapters. This workflow tests 2 critical metrics. Hallucination rate. Does it start making stuff up in later chapters? Context retention. Does it remember Chapter 1 when writing Chapter 5? Agencies and course creators pay $3,500 to $5,000 for this type of automation. GPT results. Topic: The Future of Remote Work, Chapter 1. Strong start. Well-researched, cite studies, accurate stats. Chapter 2. Still solid. References Chapter 1 concepts. No issues yet. Chapter 3. Starting to drift. Some generic statements. References to Chapter 1 getting vague. Chapter 4. Context loss detected. It mentions, as we discussed earlier, but doesn't specify what. Chapter 5. Major context loss. Doesn't reference specific data from Chapter 1. Feels like a standalone article, not a book conclusion. Hallucination rate, 6.4%. The hallucinations appeared in Chapter 4 and 5. It started inventing statistics when context degraded. Context retention, 60%. Lost thread by Chapter 4. Score, 5 out of 10. Works for short content, but context degradation kills long-form quality. Gemini results. Gemini's book output is better structured than ChatGPT. Look at these clean learning objectives. The logical chapter flow, the educational design. It's perfect for a course outline. But here's the problem. It says, key studies show remote workers are more productive. Which studies? By whom? What were the numbers? There's nothing here. And look at this. Analyzing hybrid models, for example, Apple. Okay, great. What's Apple's hybrid policy? How many days in office? What tools do they use? It doesn't say. It's name-dropping without substance. Gemini has 5.7% hallucination rate, better than GPT's 6.4%. And the context retention is solid at 70%. But here's the issue. By Chapter 5, it's introducing brand new topics like AI and legal risks without connecting them back to the ROI framework from Chapter 1. It feels like 2 different books merged together. Score, 7 out of 10. Gemini writes an excellent course outline. But if you're creating a book that clients will actually read and implement, you'd spend 10+ hours filling in all these gaps with real data, real examples, and real company case studies. Claude results. This isn't just a book. This is a complete remote work MBA course, and it's ready to publish today. No editing, no fact-checking, no filling in gaps. Look at the word count. GPT, 10,000 words. Gemini, 12,000 words. Claude, 25,000 words. Claude wrote more than double Gemini's output. But here's what matters. It's not just longer, it's better. Negligible hallucinations. Perfect context retention. Every framework fully explained with real examples. Let me show you what I mean. Gemini says. You will design a 30 to 60 to 90-day onboarding plan. Okay, great. How? Now look at Claude. It gives you the exact structure. Days 1 to 30, core knowledge acquisition, relationship building, first deliverables. Days 31 to 60, expanding network, complex projects, contributing to discussions. Days 61 to 90, full project ownership, becoming a resource, feedback integration, with specific activities, meetings, deliverables, and success metrics for each phase. That's the difference between an outline and a finished book. Negligible hallucinations, perfect context. Real companies with real details. Frameworks that are actually explained, not just mentioned. 50+ practical exercises with time estimates and deliverables. Score, 10 out of 10. There's literally nothing to criticize. All right, let's add up all 3 workflows and see who actually won. Workflow 1. Newsletter Generator, GPT, 6 out of 10. Gemini, 6 out of 10. Claude, 9 out of 10. Workflow 2. Content Generator, GPT, 7 out of 10. Gemini, 8.5 out of 10. Claude, 9.5 out of 10. Workflow 3. Book Writer, GPT, 5 out of 10. Context degraded hard. Gemini, 7 out of 10. Great structure, no substance. Claude, 10 out of 10. Literally perfect. Total scores out of 30 possible points. GPT, 18. That's 60%. Gemini, 21.5. That's 72%. Claude, 28.5. That's 95%. Claude didn't just win, it dominated. So which AI should you use for N8N workflows in 2025? If you're building for clients, selling automation, or creating content people will actually pay for, Claude. It's not even close. Claude is the only choice that won't embarrass you. Want to build AI automation workflows but don't know where to start? Struggling to turn tutorials into real, working solutions? Welcome to Automation Studio Agency, your destination for free, production-ready N8N templates. We're 4 developers who build AI automation systems that actually scale. Everything you see on our platform, we've deployed it in production. No theory, just real workflows solving real problems. And we're giving it all away, completely free. Our template library has everything you need. VO 3.1 Content Machine, Viral Script Writer, Nano Banana Image Generator and Editor, Real Estate Automation Suite. Each template includes complete N8N JSON files, setup instructions, and production best practices. Just download, import, and deploy. Plus, our skills section takes you from beginner to advanced. Learn N8N fundamentals, API integrations, AI agent deployment, multi-agent systems, and production scaling. All structured to help you build with confidence. Join free at the link in the description. Grab the workflows. Newsletter Generator, Content Writer, and eBook Generator. 3 workflows in 1 template. And start building.